I was watching a documentary about proboscis monkeys, and one of the naturalists referred to all these monkeys as this Carnival of Strange, and I wrote it down because I thought it would make a good book title. 30-something woman meets Mr. Right, but she thinks there's something wrong with him. He's not what he seems. Liz has been through some bad relationships, and the only thing she does now is go out and pick up young men, uses them for her own amusement and hopes that they'll go away quickly. She says, surely they were attractive and all that, but they were a veritable library of open books with small type and offered no surprises whatsoever. Nothing to pique my curiosity, and so on. She has no other use for them but a physical one. In this way, she's like Marina from Passing Resemblance. But she feels icky about it. She feels that there's something wrong with this kind of behavior. And her friend introduces her to a man that seems like he's perfect in every way. But then she's a little bit suspicious of that also. I can't tell you what's wrong with Mr. Right, because discovering what's wrong with Mr. Right is the journey that we take along with Liz. I think that whenever you meet somebody that seems like they're perfect, you're more suspicious than if you notice flaws in them to start out with. If something's too good to be true, then it usually is. So I thought, what if the most perfect man in the world was, let's just say that what he turns out to be, what he says he is, has a worldwide following. You could say that Liz and I have similar tastes in men, but she's a little bit more cynical about the young ones than I am. I think any woman can think up the perfect man, at least for her. For me, the perfect man would be available. Unfortunately, this one is fictional. He cooks, he grows things. He doesn't like chemicals in his food, but he's not a whiny, tree-hugging hippie. He likes machinery, he drinks and smokes, enjoys all of his vices to the fullest. He's happy with himself, he has a childlike curiosity, he's in love with the world around him. He's irrepressible. He's incredibly attractive and supremely confident about it. He quotes Shakespeare. He's left-handed. He's great in bed. This Carnival of Strange is basically a love story. What's the message in any love story? Love conquers all. We want to believe whatever our lover tells us, no matter how far-fetched it might be. I learned a great deal about geography and certain religious practices. I learned a lot about history, both ancient and modern. Discussing what I learned while writing this book is kind of problematic because I don't want to give away the hook to it.
The cover is from an ancient manuscript called the Codex Borgia. That's Sheepy Totec, the flayed lord, in the picture. He was an Aztec god of agriculture. In ceremonies, his priests wore the flayed skins of sacrificial victims.
Maybe. It relates to a romance in the story, but not necessarily the main one. Okay. This is a little bit about Mr. Right. As long as he had a little patch to cultivate for his own use, Tom could dispense with the wide open spaces. As long as he could obtain the freshest possible food, he reveled in the confines of the city. He appreciated the city. He liked to walk around downtown about 5 o'clock in the morning, listening to the hum of the transformers, watching the time signals turn from green to yellow to red without there being any traffic yet for them to guide. He didn't mind the noise, the poison pumped into the air by too many cars, the crowds. He waxed poetic about curb, gutter, and sidewalk, believed that there were few perfections to equal a newly paved thoroughfare. The city is the apogee of mankind's achievements, he would say. You can get anything you want in the city. Have that shit delivered.
ninthstreetpress.com